All right, you didn't ask, but we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of F1 and Jurassic World. First, we're going to do F1, and then we're going to move into Jurassic World after that. I'm Spencer.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Justin.
All right, let's get into it. So let's talk spoiler free first for F1. Sonny Hayes is the GOAT. Tell us, what did you think of the movie out of 10? Give us a little spoiler free thoughts.
I don't know. I don't really know.
I don't know, he says.
It was a good movie. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I really liked watching it. I don't know. I'll give it a solid 7. I'll give it a 7.
Okay, jeez.
I was looking
Guys are
at
critic.
a lot of other people's reviews on it, seeing what the public kind of what their opinion on it was, and a lot of people were kind of saying that the script was a little I don't know, just kind of
Lackluster,
basic.
yeah.
Which honestly, for this type of movie, it wasn't that bad. This was a movie about racing. That's not really a spoiler, so
That's not really a spoiler. Yeah, bro. It's called the F1 movie. I think it's about
There's
racing.
a little bit of racing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I was pretty locked in the whole movie.
Yeah.
They picked a lot of good characters. Brad Pitt, he actually did a pretty good job, I feel like. The other guy's name, I can't think of his name right now.
Josh
JP.
Yeah, no, but his real life, the actor's name.
Brad Pitt.
Jameson Idris.
No, it's a,
Yeah. What Spencer said. He did a great job. I feel like, kind of just being,
Oh yeah.
the rookie.
He was basically you. If you were in this movie, it was you thinking you're all hot shit, and then you get outclassed by an oldie.
But yeah, no, really solid movie. I just, it's a racing movie, so I'm not going to give it that much higher than a 7. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
how come you don't like a racing movie?
I just feel like there's only so much
So
you
much
can
you
do.
can do.
With it. Like, I don't know. For some reason, as soon as I was done watching this movie, it reminded me of the Cars movie, and
I mean,
that movie is good.
good movies.
But there's only so much you can do. There's only so much plot that you can put in there. So
Yeah.
they did a good job with what they were working with. It was a really good movie, but on a scale of all the movies that you could watch, I'll give it a 7.
My take was kind of different than yours, Justin. I might be really biased, but I really love racing movies. I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I saw Speed Racer as a kid, and I just thought
Speed Racer. You don't know nothing about Speed Racer. I put you
I
on.
know nothing
Yeah, I put you on Speed Racer.
never in a million years.
Yeah, you know it.
Me and Sonny got way more in common than you and anybody else in that movie.
Yeah. You have it in common that you're both old heads who are getting outclassed.
Oh, okay.
Watched
I
it.
got all the drugs.
Washed up, yeah. If anything, you're washed up, Spencer.
You guys saw me on that go-kart track schooling you.
No.
I wanna get it from Tyler, the guy.
No.
who finished-
This guy Tyler was driving like somebody's grandma. I'm not trying to.
No. I was the best. Who was the worst racer out of all of us? Since you weren't even there, who do you think it would be?
I don't know. I'm just judging off of everyone so far, opinions. I feel like it would probably be Justin. Not only is he bad on the track, but I feel like off the track, his drip is just horrible.
Nah, you definitely told her to say that.
No, he didn't. I'm just feeding off of the energy, I guess.
I mean, that's a pretty accurate take.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the most accurate thing I've heard, and I will hear.
Yeah.
All right, no. I will say, when I was watching the F1 movie, I was getting immense anxiety because of our experiences go-karting. I was like, dude, go-karting hurts so bad. I was like, I can't imagine what these guys are going through.
Yeah, driving at 250
dude,
kilometers an hour instead of 20.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Spencer. I had on the higher end. I actually So Top Gun Maverick, the director of Top Gun Maverick, directed this movie. And Top Gun Maverick was such a unique surprise to me. So I was really excited going into this. I know nothing about F1, literally nothing. And so going into this, I was just like, I hope I get a good movie. And I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was like, dude, this is like really hype. And like the story was like sufficient enough to keep me engaged, even though it was a little predictable at points. Like
Yeah.
it kept me like engaged. And I actually like really liked it. It's definitely in my like top 10 of the year so far. Like I really dug it.
You had it at like number 5. So
Yeah,
far.
I think it was like maybe like top 5, maybe top
Yeah,
6.
I was very proud.
I think it was because of the surprise, because like I didn't expect much coming from it, and then it like really took me by surprise. So I give it like an 8, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. I thought the way that they shot it, like the cinematography and stuff.
Oh
was
my
gorgeous.
That was
Dude.
awesome.
Not only that, but we get a Hans Zimmer score in an F1 movie. Like you can't get more hype than
Yeah,
that. The
they cooked
goat
it.
of fucking composing.
And I mean, it's crazy because the actors were actually driving the cars.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think they
That comes
said
with a lot of
I-
liability on the set.
yeah, I forget how many hours Brad said he put in and how many miles he put in, but it was like he like put in the work to learn how to drive these cars. Was it more of like did Brad Pitt have like a midlife crisis and decide he wanted to drive some F1 cars?
Absolutely.
And yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
But like, what did you think? What do you think of it?
Honestly, coming from an F1 super, like, I wouldn't say
Super
super
fan.
fan.
No,
fine,
you're a super fan.
Super fan. Like, I feel like it was really good from like a viewer, like a normal viewer standpoint. But as like somebody who watches F1 almost every weekend, I was like, so many parts of it were so inaccurate. So I would probably give the F1 movie a 9 out of 10. And that's coming from me, like as like a super
F1
fan, just because it's exciting that I think people know this, but like the actual drivers are in the movie. And so like it's just like little shots here and there.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Cool cameos.
Yeah, that I think definitely drove a lot of fans to actually go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was cool to see that.
Mhm.
I did think it was kind of weird. I don't know if this is like a spoiler to say or not, but
I mean, if
was
it is, I'll just cut
filmed
it out.
before Lewis Hamilton had made the move to go to Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of interesting to see him still in the Mercedes gear, and I didn't know if that affected how much he was going to be in the movie or not.
Interesting. Yeah, see, coming from someone who literally knows nothing about F1, like things like that don't bother me. Like any of the inconsistencies or like things that didn't really make sense with actual F1, like didn't affect me, which is good because like I believed it. Like they made it all believable. That I'm like, yeah, why can't you do some of the things that were happening in this movie? So yeah, I really liked it, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. So
Is Apex GP a real F1 team? Oh,
No.
okay.
if it was though, Justin, you would definitely be on it.
Please, I'd
And
be
they'd definitely be dead last.
Yeah.
This guy
I'd
racing.
be the owner guy. I'd be the owner guy.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
debt. That's who you would be. That makes sense. Yeah, in
Owner
debt.
driving the team.
But all right, yeah, let's hop into spoilers for the F1 movie. So, all right, why don't you go
Finally.
talk about some of the things with the F1 that didn't necessarily make
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, so I feel like in the F1 movie, there were a lot of inconsistencies with how a real F1 race goes versus how they portrayed it in the movie. You know, I mean, they waved like the red flag and they were trying to repair the whole car when in reality, in a real F1 race, like they're throwing that thing in the garage and they're calling it a day. Same with like when they had Sonny Hayes like hitting other cars.
Yeah, that's what,
definitely actually you will get fined. And
yeah, but he's the
like,
GOAT.
I
He's
guess
the
they
GOAT.
don't care. They said he came back, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking of that when I was watching it. I was like, why can't you just do that? Why can't you just be a demon on the course and just start like dusting people, like crop dusting people and
So
hitting
many
them?
penalties. So many
Right.
penalties that they didn't
Yeah.
hand out in that movie.
Yeah.
And that guy would have had like the highest cost for like all those cars.
Yeah.
not to mention the cars are so expensive. Like there's no way the team would like continuously allow that.
Yeah, especially with all
but-
the debt that guy had. Every week, it's a brand new car he's got to buy.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, okay, so he could spend money on making a new car, but whatever.
Yeah, I think what did you guys think of like Sonny's actual story aside from like the racing and everything, with like him being in Daytona or F1 where he had the crash and then coming back, a washed up old guy? Like, what do you guys think of that?
He, in my opinion, he kind of carried the movie. Just his whole like backstory of he was supposed to be like kind of how Joshua Pierce was, like this new rookie kid prodigy, just coming in and just balling out immediately, and then he has a really bad crash, and kind of gets away from racing and kind of throws his life away. He turns into like a degenerate gambler, and then
So you must have like really connected.
yeah, I was telling Spencer my favorite scene was that poker scene when they
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, all I know is if Justin was there, he would have lost.
That's exactly what I told him when we were.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're doing this poker game, there's no way you're coming out the number one.
No, literally.
But it's a good I don't know what the term is, but he comes back and he revives his career. His old time friend and like racing buddy, the owner of the Apex GP team, he's like, "Yo, man, I need somebody, literally anybody. So I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
You need to be my second racer." And the guy, like, no thought, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there." Like, I don't know, Sonny Hayes, dude, he's really like that. He's really like that. At the first couple races when he's there, he's a little rusty, but he knows like all of the old school strategies, like, oh, let me drive in the gravel and spit up all this dust so that my teammate can come in and gain some positions. So I feel like he didn't want to be a mentor at first to this guy JP, because they had that scene in the hallway where they're like pushing each other and he's like, I don't care about you, I've seen a million.
Okay, Sonny is such a hypocrite though. He literally tells JP, he's like, if you want to get past me, you gotta like fight. And then he fights to get past him and he like knocks him out and he's like, why would you do that? And I was like, dude, you literally told him to. Like, Sonny was just a little bit of a hypocrite there. But I kind of like that because I think he kind of realized, because he was on the flip side of it then, where he was kind of like, oh, damn, I'm an asshole. Yeah. But I'm a hot Brad Pitt asshole.
Yeah.
I like the contrast between Sonny and Joshua. Just like they both have pretty similar personalities where they're kind of just cocky and they feel like they know it all, but they're on two complete opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to their career. Like, this guy's a rookie and the other guy's a washed up old head. But I like that. Was my favorite part, was the story of those two and kind of them becoming friends at a certain point at the end of the movie.
I think it was like an interesting take, because people often are confused when it's like there's two drivers on one team, but the two drivers are fighting for the championship, so not the team championship, you know what I mean? And so it's interesting to see that there's still that rivalry while you also have to work together for the team.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because every other sport, for the most part, it kind of reminded me of wrestling in a way where you're like, you really want to like win your position, you want to like win your match, but you also want your friends to win and stuff, but you also don't want them to beat you out for the position. Right. So it's kind of this rivalry of like making sure that you're the top dog. Well, like football, it's like it's a team sport. Like you don't want your lineman to like fall down or something like that. You want everyone to be on top. And then like, I mean, I would talk about basketball, but that's barely a sport. So
more of a sport than F1.
Yo.
Wait. Okay. No, wait, Justin. Justin and Spencer, who are your favorite drivers in F1?
I only know Lewis Hamilton.
Got to be Lewis Hamilton.
I only know those two.
Who was the other one?
He said Max Verstappen. I said Lewis Hamilton.
I only know those two.
Max Verstappen makes sense for you, Justin.
I don't have a favorite. Those are the only two that I know.
Like when somebody in basketball like says, "Oh, I really like basketball and my favorite player is LeBron James." Like, that's what that's giving. You know what I mean?
I don't know anybody else.
F1.
I mean,
you're a casual.
If Sonny Hayes was based off a real guy, that guy would be.
That's what I said. I was like, my favorite F1 person is Sonny Hayes.
Yeah.
Sonny Hayes. But yeah, I thought it was I actually really like that team dynamic, because like it's a very classic story of that rivals, mentor, old head, kind of like mentoring someone. But I think the F1 movie took the rival mentor storyline, and I think they actually did it like really well. Like, again, I was pretty locked in, like you said, Justin. Like, I was pretty locked in the entire time. I really enjoyed it. I cared about the characters. The side characters,
a lot of people are upset. A lot of women are upset about the engineer hooking up with Brad Pitt or
Yeah.
Sunny hates.
Well,
I feel
someone
like that
said
is just that's like a Brad Pitt thing. I feel
not-
like he has like
Brad
a
Pitt wouldn't have signed
contract
up
where
if
he's
he
like,
couldn't do
I
something.
need to have a sex scene in every
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, not only that, but it was also like I saw people were mad because they were like the women in the F1 movie were boiled
Obsessed.
down to a love interest for Brad Pitt and the person who screwed up the tire change, and that was it. And I was like, well, yeah, I agree.
Actually kind of made me a little mad too.
I
Not the romance stuff, but more so the girl that messed up.
yeah,
I kinda
They
was
didn't
like,
really let her do much.
yeah, because that was really her whole point was she screwed up once
and then she
never
got better
screwed.
from
Yeah,
it, I guess. But it was like, damn, why you gotta do that?
yeah,
And they didn't really shine a light on her getting better. It was just kind of like they showed her messing up, like really out in the open. But
Yeah.
when she was making like successful moves in the pit, they didn't really like harp on that. Like no one
Yeah.
on the back.
It
It was
just
just
seemed-
like, thanks for doing your job.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I did like the fact that they kind of kept putting her in the forefront, obviously, mostly with like the team when they were on their runs and doing that stuff. So they kind of showed also Brad Pitt's kind of like fatherly kind of figure to her in a way. Like they very, very briefly glazed over that, even though she like caught him like bathing.
No.
So that
No,
was
he was just doing an ice bath.
the ice bath, yeah, not bathing. But yeah, I think the F1 movie did kind of that team camaraderie aspect pretty well. I like cared about our main characters. There wasn't really like I think there was one character that I really didn't like that I thought was very unnecessary was that like evil business guy at the end who was like
So random that came up like almost
Yeah,
towards
I don't
the
know,
end,
yeah.
and you're like,
you didn't need that.
Really
There was
randomly made him a villain, and I didn't
Yeah.
really like his like story arc at all.
there was no
I
story
thought
arc.
the
They literally-
actual
yeah.
dynamic between Sonny and JP was cool. I thought it was kind of generic, but I think they executed it well. Like Brad Pitt and Damson Idris both did a really good job with those roles. I
Yeah.
thought Ruben was like a cool character for like
Yeah. Javier Bardem, whatever.
yeah.
Javier. Dude, yeah, he was really good.
job.
And again, I think that like that chemistry when you have such star power, they connect. Like they just know how to connect. And I also thought this movie did a pretty good job. We're going to talk about Jurassic World later, but one thing I will just like spoil for one of my critiques of Jurassic World is they info dump in that movie. Like Jurassic World they'll just sit there and they'll talk and info dump on you everything you should care about. But I feel like in this movie they still info dump. But the F1 movie does a good way of kind of showing a little bit more than telling you everything.
Yeah.
Like he's watching over his video of his crash over and over again. They do talk about it, but they're not going to sit there and be like, so you went around the crash and this happened and you got dragged out, and they had like a 30-minute session talking about it. It's like he's learning from it. He's looking back at it. He has like his intricacies with why he is the way he is now with that and stuff. So I kind of liked that rather than just Brad Pitt spewing backstory.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought that when they talked about Kate, the engineer, building the new piece on the front, like her and Sonny had that dinner where they talked about him needing like a more aggressive combat type car. And then she just kind of disappeared for a little bit and just came back with the new piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit of like her on the computer, like looking at wind and stuff with the lasers. But it would have been cool to see her just like have like a short montage of like grinding to get that
Totally.
piece out.
I
Yeah.
agree. I'd be kind of interested to see how that looks.
The problem is you got to realize though, like the F1 movie is a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And so the fans and the people who are going to see this and the families, they don't want to see her sitting there designing it. They just want it to be designed and they just want to see the races.
Well, I feel like just throwing in a little montage.
I agree it should have been in there, but
Willpower.
like the thing is it's a Brad Pitt summer blockbuster. They don't care about this girl. They only care about Brad Pitt racing.
Well, don't
But
worry.
I think that goes back to like some of the complaints that people had of like the portrayal of the women and stuff. Like if
Yeah.
that kind of scene, even if it had been like during the training part where Sonny's doing his warm up stuff with the ball, or like when JP is getting right in the like video game chair. Like they could have done something during that.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have, but I think that's why they didn't. It's just because Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt summer movie.
I heard that
What
they
was your-
wanted to do like a love interest or something for JP, and they like scrapped it. But the movie was already like 2.5 hours. Like I don't know.
A
how they
love interest with
that in.
JP. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
then
that's
that movie would have been
interesting.
3.5
Yeah.
hours long.
That would have been probably like, I hate to say it, but probably more interesting because he's younger. Like, no
Yeah.
offense to Brad Pitt. I get Brad Pitt's like hot or whatever, but like, I just feel like it's more accurate in the F1 world, which I get it. Like, this isn't supposed to be completely
to have-
accurate, but like,
Go after the young guy.
yes, because like, there's so much drama.
But he didn't have the Riz.
Yeah, he didn't have the Riz.
He didn't have
Well, he
the
had the
veteran
drip.
Riz
He didn't have the
that he
drip.
had from
He
all
had
of
the
his
drip.
races.
Oh, he did have the drip. Yeah.
He had the drip, unlike Justin here.
What was your guys?
Just in the club?
Yeah, Justin.
Charles Leclerc.
I would have been out of there. I would have pulled the same move as JP. That guy was in there for 5 minutes. He was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm out of here. I'm about to go race. About to go practice.
No, Justin. You would have been like, I think I'm gonna go home and
poker tables.
yeah, I'm gonna go back to the poker tables, or tonight's feeling like a PlayStation night.
No.
Yeah, yeah. What was your guys' favorite scene in the F1 movie?
Probably that last lap.
That's
That last
That was-
lap where
yeah.
he was like floating or flying around the track, where it was just like him in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
For that was insane.
yeah. The last lap was a really good scene.
I have 2 favorite scenes. One, obviously, the poker scene. Because, come on.
Come on.
I guess it's not really even a scene. It's like literally 2 seconds after they win the race, after they win the final race. And, throughout the whole movie, Brad Pitt's like taking a random card out of the deck and putting it in his pocket. And we never see which card he puts in, or like even if he knows which card he's putting in. And at the end of the movie, when he's driving in his truck to like the beach racing, he looks at the card and he just laughs. And we don't get to see it. And I'm like, dude, how are you going to do that to us? Like,
What card do you think he had in his pocket? What card do you think Sonny Hayes had in his pocket throughout the F1 movie?
I'll tell you what, I think it was a diamond.
Why? Why would he laugh at that?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. I just,
maybe.
I think
it's just a feeling.
it was the Joker.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I feel like it was an ace.
Ace or Joker. It had to be like one of the big ones, or like the king, or like the queen, or something. Yeah.
Because he had the little like spade on his left like jacket jumper in the movie.
yeah, maybe.
Totally, Spencer. You totally just cracked it, because I bet you, like, my checkings account. That my checking account.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
Damn, Spencer, you might be getting some guap soon if they release it.
No, you
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite scene. I mean, the final lap is awesome. Obviously, they pulled out no holds barred there for that last lap. Sound design, music, production value. But I also really liked JP's crash scene. I thought that was a really cool scene.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool scene, just like going back and forth between Sonny and JP, and like Sonny, you like know Sonny's like telling him what to do, and it's like he could do it, and then you could just see it in JP's face. You're like, he's not gonna do it. He's gonna do his own thing.
Yeah.
And I like that moment, and him flying, whether or not it was realistic or not, it was sick. And the explosion where it's like all quiet too. You could hear everyone just in the theater like
I know.
exploding and everything like that. And then obviously, it was a very emotional scene too, with Sonny jumping out of the car and trying to save him and everything.
Yeah, I think what I liked about that scene was, I think that was finally the moment where they knew that they could bond over something
Yeah.
that they both went through. And I think that's clearly what pulled them together for the
Yeah.
rest of the season. And the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was cool too because it showed JP like that Sonny did care about him
Yeah.
and really did want to see him win the race.
Yeah.
Because Sonny didn't even finish the race. Like as soon as he saw him crash, like he just pulled off to the side and was like, I gotta help him.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
Yep.
when he went back and was looking at the footage and stuff, he realized if he had done what Sonny had told him to and listened to the veteran knowledge, he would
Yep.
have had his first win.
Although I kind of think it was like kind of that stupid movie trope where if JP had just told his mom, like told people like, yeah, Sonny, like he knew what to do. Like, don't be mad at him. Like, why did he wait until like the last minute to tell his mom? I guess he was embarrassed. I think that's kind of what they were trying to go for, is that he was embarrassed at the way that he decided to do something went wrong. So he was trying to blame it on Sonny, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
was
at the same time, that guy was getting a bunch of flack from the press. Like
Yeah.
everybody was like, you totally tried to get this guy killed. And
but I thought they could
turns over
hear, because they were talking about the radio chatter and everything. Couldn't they hear that Sonny was trying to tell him not to the entire time? And he did. Wouldn't they know that?
What do you mean?
I don't know if the like media has access to like
No.
the crew chat or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, usually it's only like what's released like during like the actual race coverage is what the media has access to. So there's only like a few stints where you hear it throughout the race. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, there goes my.
Did you feel like JP's character development was like rushed towards the end? Because he went from treating everybody in that place like garbage to just like leading the whole team on those runs that Sonny would do with them.
Yeah.
And I felt like that went
Yeah.
kind of quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of felt like, yeah, when did he have a change of heart, I guess? And maybe it's just
Yeah.
because Sonny wasn't there and he was I don't know the way I perceived it, and maybe I'm just a jerk, but I was like, oh, maybe he was jealous of the bond that Sonny had with his
Well, I think that was it
team.
because Sonny
And he
came
was
in
like,
and
oh,
yeah.
well, now that Sonny's gone, I'm gonna start creating this bond
Yeah.
with the team and get them to like me. And
Yeah, I think it was a little rushed, but again, we already have like a 2.5 hour movie. I'm here for like the fun races for the most part and a serviceable story, so I'm fine with the F1 movie kind of rushing some plot points.
I honestly thought they did it pretty well. Like I don't feel like how you felt, Spencer. I don't think JP was just there kind of like, oh, I'm better than everybody else from the beginning. Maybe a little bit just because he was like a rookie and he's like, oh yeah, I got all this money out of nowhere, probably like maybe a little bit, but I feel like just he saw how much everybody was bonding with Sonny, so he was like, oh, this guy just suffered another crash.
Yeah.
He kind of re-aggravated the old injury from when he was like a rookie. And so he was like, maybe it's about time I step up and kind of be a teammate instead of just telling everybody what to do or how to help me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they did a pretty good job of it.
I'm actually
It depends on
glad that you brought I'm glad you brought that up, because can we talk about when he was having like the head trauma stuff in the last lap? Like we did not hear anything of that.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell if it was from obviously like the previous injury
It
or
was
like
from the previous injury, and like Justin said, it got re-aggravated because of the new crash. But it literally just came in for the last race, and then it never got talked about again.
Yeah, like he didn't admit that he was having issues, and he went.
And it didn't really do anything either. It was just there for the viewer, for us
He had to be anxious.
to be anxious, because it never really impaired him. Like he won, which also let's talk about that. Are you guys happy that Sonny won, or should it have been JP?
I honestly would have wanted to see JP win it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because the whole movie is leading up to Sonny helping JP win, and at the end, Sonny just takes the fame.
Especially when JP, or not JP, when Ruben went over and gave Sonny the CTE slap on his head. Like his whole head was ringing. He couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then he just drives off and he's like, I'm about to get this done.
Yeah.
I do wish they had JP win it, but I also kind of like how, the whole movie, it's kind of Sonny is racing in a way to help JP win. And then for the last race,
He
JP
lets himself
is
win.
the guy who's like, you know what, I'm about to take one for the team. Let Sonny get the win for
You know
us.
what?
Yeah, it was still cool.
Maybe it is a little bit of a changing of expectations, that you expected Sonny to help JP win at the end, but in reality, it was them bonding with each other and just worrying about the team winning. It didn't matter because JP, all right, you know what, Justin, you might have changed my mind, because the whole time JP is so worried about winning himself. Sonny is the one who's worrying about the team winning. And by the ending of it, they've switched where now Sonny realizes he needs to win for his own self and the team, but also JP is like, you know what? I don't care if I win as long as Sonny wins. He's my teammate. I'm here to support him, and the team wins. And he wants to stay on that team. And now that Sonny's gone, JP can now, take the reins. So you know what, Justin? This is the one time you've actually convinced me. Although I kind of wished JP won, I can understand why he didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, that was a
say
good
I
point.
feel like they JP ended up saying to Sonny like, I'm gonna win a million races. This is your last chance.
Yeah.
And I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And then the
It's
after
cool for
credit
him to
scene is
ride
just
off into the sunset
JP
after the win.
crashing again and dying.
The only thing I didn't like at the end of the movie was Sonny just kind of leaving it all behind him. Like he just won the biggest race of his
Totally.
life, and he's like, I'm about to go race on the beach in some.
Nah, that was kind of on brand.
I get it because he had that whole thing of like, as long as I'm behind the wheel, I feel like I'm flying. Like he just kind of wants to do any race that he can, but it's like, bro, you could lock up a spot on this F1 team and be a star, and then he's just like, I'm gonna go race dune buggies. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
really
literally
like,
what he did at Daytona, though. Guy literally won Daytona and was like, you know what? Forget
Yeah.
about being a superstar in Daytona. I'm about to go to F1 on the worst team and get it
I
done.
don't even think he even knew that was gonna happen after that first Daytona race. It was only because Ruben ran into him in the laundromat and was like, yeah, I need a guy.
I need a guy. Ruben, what up, Ruben? If it wasn't for Ruben, nothing would have happened. Also, I like that scene where Ruben is reading off the medical parts to Sonny, and he's like, whatever broken spine piece he's had, and he's like talking about possible death and loss of sight and everything, and everyone's like, oh crap, and he's like, that was 30 years ago, and I was like, damn. He's like, why didn't you tell me about this? And I was like, that was kind of a cool little scene.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
They really got some good actors and actresses in here to like bring that emotion to what could have been a really cheesy movie.
Totally.
Like the F1 movie could have been a really cheesy movie if the actors weren't it. And I think that villainy character, that villainy business guy at the end was that. Like I don't think the actor was bad, but I think the writing was just so lackluster. Like I did not like that guy.
Well,
I didn't even really understand what was going on. Like,
They were just like,
he
you
basically-
can make a side play basically, and we'll sell the team after Ruben loses all these races, and then the other group would buy the team, and then Sonny would be like, basically get Ruben's job
Yeah.
while being.
So they basically were like, they wanted Ruben to lose. They basically wanted Sonny to lose the match. Maybe not on purpose. They just figured he was going to lose anyway, so that they could buy the team and kick Ruben out, basically.
well, and then they wanted Sonny to be.
Yeah, and they wanted Sonny in there, probably just because he was like, you know,
He was strategic.
strategic big
They like
boy
the
type
vibe.
thing. Yeah, they like
yeah,
the
but
vibe.
Sonny does it for the love of the game, not the money.
Yeah, exactly.
loyal guy, Sonny. Love to see it.
They announced that there's going to be a sequel to the F1 movie. And I have a question. What do you guys think it would be about? Like, do you think it's going to follow JP or.
I kind of
Honestly, I feel like it's got to follow JP. If I
Yeah.
see Sonny in that movie as
Yeah.
anything other than like a guy that just shows up to cheer on JP, I might be kind of heated. I don't want to see that guy like get brought out of retirement again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Again
That
for
would be,
the
like too much.
yeah.
I kind of had that vibe watching that movie where, you know, he goes to the beach and races with those random guys, and he's like in the middle of a race, like during the credits. I kind of felt like, oh, they're kind of setting this up for a second movie. So
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
hope that it's more JP, but I feel like Sonny is gonna make a
Yeah, you gotta think about it also.
and be
What-
like part of the pit crew or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe the team principal or something like that, like they said before, or how the guy
Yeah.
tried to convince him. to
Because you gotta think about it from like a movie making standpoint. A lot of people went to go see this movie because of the name Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's no way if Brad Pitt wants to do it, they're gonna make him an unnecessarily big part of the sequel.
Yeah.
But you know
I don't
what?
have a
Like,
problem with him being in the movie, but like him being the number one racer.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
races just wouldn't make sense.
It
like
could
that.
happen just because it's Brad Pitt, but at the same time, I don't want it to happen. I think it's time to like, just I don't know, just let's just see the racing. Let's just see JP racing and trying to be the best. You know.
Totally.
But real quick, let's talk about the actual filming of the racing, how it looked, the sound design of it, the music, dude. Everything was like top notch. The F1 movie, to me, like we talked about Mission Impossible being a summer blockbuster. The F1 movie surprised me so much. This is what a summer blockbuster is. I went there with a smile on my face the entire time. I was not bored throughout the entire movie. It was shot so beautifully. It was probably such an expensive movie. I heard it was really expensive. The price is going to be on the screen right now. That's how much it is. And you got Brad Pitt. You got Hans Zimmer. Like, dude, you can't get better than that. Like, for an F1 movie too, which isn't super popular in America, like they popped off with this movie.
Totally. There's going
Yeah,
to be
the
a
shots
bunch of
were
new
better than
fans.
watching a real F1 race.
Well,
Yeah.
they used real racing
Yeah.
footage. Like they used real actual
Yeah.
F1 races as part of the movie, which
Yep.
you couldn't even tell. Like you really couldn't tell. They made
Yeah.
it really seem like they did everything in, throughout filming. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like they just took a recording and slapped it in.
Dude, and there was these shots where it was a POV on the hood, and it would like turn,
To the
like the
driver.
camera would turn
So
and turn back and
cool.
forth. And dude, like in Top Gun Maverick, they found such unique ways of showing the vehicular combat. And in this one, the same thing. They found such unique ways of showing vehicular combat and making you understand spatial awareness of where these cars were. Because like at an actual F1 race, your eyes can barely track the car. But I felt like I knew where the cars were at every time. I knew where people were. They did a really good job, or the F1 movie did a really good job of explaining F1 for people who don't watch F1.
Yeah.
And like, I don't need to know all the intricacies. I just need to know, like, Sonny says it. Like, JP's like, I got 10th. He's like, you don't want to be 10th. You want to be 1. Okay, we set the basis. We don't want anything but number 1. Like, boom, that's all I need to know. Racing number 1, 300,000 laps. We're good to go.
That's
So-
not always true. Sorry.
Well, but that's what the movie set up. The movie set up
I know.
because they could have given you
But you
all
get
the F1
points.
rules. Yeah, they could have done all of
It's
that.
like an arc. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I thought it was done really well.
Guys, think of your favorite 2025 blockbusters so far.
The F1 movie. I like the F1 movie. I like this movie a lot, and I really like Sinners.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sinners is still my undefeated kind of movie of the year. Predator Killer of Killers is up there. 28 years later is probably right above like F1. And then probably F1, yeah. Like I was really surprised with it.
Honestly, I think I got F1 over 28 years later.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, most
Yeah.
people are going to agree with you.
I love that.
What do you have?
My favorite. Come on, F1.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was so hyped for this movie.
Yeah.
I just noticed you have the McLaren hat on.
yeah,
I
that's
do.
clean.
Damn, you didn't notice my McLaren shirt?
No, I
I
actually
couldn't
did.
read it. Yeah, my bad, dog. Oh, a little twinning,
Andrew?
twinning action. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have the same shirts.
Yeah, I got her the same shirt.
Yeah.
But I don't know I know nothing about Lando except she loves Lando.
do.
And I know nothing about
Lando.
F1. I bought it for the pod.
And
That's how
of course.
dedicated I am.
Absolute blast.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
go and see it. If you're a fan of racing or just want to see people drive fast, definitely tap in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like if you are a fan of like movies that get your adrenaline going, this is the movie to see.
Yeah.
Basically, if you've seen the Cars movies, you don't need to watch this movie.
Right. Yeah.
No.
If you've seen
This-
Speed Racer, then you definitely
Yeah.
got to see this.
This, I really like this movie. You know what? I think I'm gonna raise my score. I think I'm just gonna raise it ever so slightly to 7.5.
Okay.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. I feel like that happens a lot. After we talk about these movies, one of us is always bumping up a score
Yep.
or bumping down. I don't know. We haven't really watched any like stinker yet, but like a major
Got to see
stinker.
something terrible. We got to go see the
Um,
Smurfs.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh,
I'm seeing the Smurfs too.
well, we are too, and we're gonna be having a nice little costume on that one. So,
Gotta.
but yeah, no, I think the F1 movie really surprised me. I really enjoyed it, and as someone who does not care at all about racing, I want to see another one. All right, well, I think that is gonna wrap it up for F1 talk. Justin, I think you will be signing off here.
Hey, man.
And then we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, another big summer blockbuster. Did it stand above or below or the same as F1? We're going to find out here. We'll have another guest on, we'll have another member of the podcast on as our least talented one, Sonny Hayes is the GOAT, gets off.
Yep.
No.
He's
No,
out.
no.
That's horrible.
I'm kidding. But yeah, so that's it for F1.
Thank you for having me. Until next time.
Yeah, we'll
Yes,
be
sir.
seeing you, Justin.
All right, what's up, everyone? You didn't ask, but we're gonna be reviewing Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm Amos.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Spencer.
Let's get into it. We're gonna start out first with spoiler-free talk, and then we're gonna get into spoilers,
All the juicy dinosaur spoilers.
all the juicy dinosaur details, all the
Yep.
dinos.
Yep.
All right, what were you guys' thoughts? First, what did you rate the movie? Give us a little insight on what you were thinking about it.
Jurassic World Rebirth really surprised me because Jurassic World Dominion was such a stinker. I really thought it put the Jurassic franchise in the ground, but Jurassic World Rebirth, dude, I kind of liked it. I have a fear of like open oceans and sharks and stuff, so I was kind of like tweaking throughout this entire movie. But yeah, I actually really liked it. Is it stupid? Yeah, it's stupid, but it was fun. It was so much fun. I came out of that with the biggest smile on my face. I was like, yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
I give it like maybe a 7.9, maybe an 8 just out of pure enjoyment, even though logistically it's probably like a little lower.
What?
Like if you're looking at it from like a standpoint of like how good is the movie, how good's the writing, it's probably lower, but
Yeah.
I had so much fun.
I would totally agree with that standpoint. Well, most of it, some of it, a little bit of it. We'll get into that.
Oh no.
What did you
That's
think?
pretty close
Nathan?
to you guys. I had it at a 7.5. I thought there were some like writing things that kind of brought it back for me. Some things where I was looking at them like they kind of got plot armor. But
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought the actual dinosaur scenes were top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually wasn't expecting myself to like it as much as I did. I kind of just went because Tyler was really wanted
Made
it to
her.
go. So,
Yeah.
but I honestly give it for myself like an 8.5 out of 10.
Wow, 8.5.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
like,
High praise.
Yeah.
I know. I really enjoyed it.
It was fun. Amos, what do you
I
think?
am totally on the opposite
Oh
spectrum.
no.
The three of you. I gave that dirty ass stink of a movie 3 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Watching that shit at all.
Oh wow.
God. Compared like the whole time. What is this? Like the third movie? The third of the Jurassic Worlds or
This is
so?
like 4. This is 4 of the
Oh,
Jurassic
Okay,
World.
well then I missed the second 2 because I was just like, all right, I had enough Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him anymore. The first Jurassic World I liked. They did a good job. This one, they were just like, okay. Oh, all right.
Wow. His hate is so immense that he can't even get his words out.
It was like they started out like pretty decent. I mean, like it was like a lazy plot or whatever. And then they started getting into it, and I was like, they really did not use any creative. They wasted so much creativity that they could have used in this movie. I was just not having a great time at all.
Jeez. Oh my.
That armor was fucking stupid. The
Oh my.
dinosaur scenes were lame. I just didn't like it at all.
Oh my god. All right, this is going to be a good talk because we are way all over the board
I
here.
didn't like the designs of the dinosaur. Okay, maybe not all of them. Some of them were good, like the
Save it for spoilers. Save it for spoilers.
everything else was shit. We'll get into that.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? I agree that, like, I mean, come on. When we were watching, we could predict, like, what was coming.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like writing for me, writing wise, it's like a 4 out of 10. But like fun wise and like just for me, dinosaur action wise, like I go into a Jurassic World movie knowing what I'm gonna get. You were like Jurassic Park. Later in the spoilers, we'll rank the actual Jurassic Park movies, but Jurassic Park is like a top 3 movie of all time for me. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And literally, they haven't even, no other movie in the franchise has even come close to the shadow of the first movie. So I go into these movies
True. That's very true.
expecting turn your brain off, have some good laughs, have some good fun, some good action, hopefully good CGI. And if I get that, I'm good. Jurassic World Dominion, the one before this, burn that to the ground. That's how I felt with it. So this one being even better than that one was like, oh, thank God.
Damn, this piece of shit was better than the one previous.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Amos, in
The
Dominion.
last one, you would not want to see that.
No, Amos.
Like this one, don't even go back and look at it.
Amos, I'm going to tell you, the director of Jurassic World Dominion said that there was going to be a dinosaur in the last one. It was the Gigantosaurus. And he was like, this dinosaur is the most evil dinosaur you have ever seen in the Jurassic Park franchise. It is the Joker of the Jurassic World franchise. All it wants to do is see the world burn. I was like, yo, we are about to get the greatest dinosaur action, everything. You know what it did,
I'm
Amos?
too much of a biologist to
Amos.
want to play into this mentality of dinosaurs because they're animals.
Yeah.
They're not
So
fucking, like,
So you know what the Gigantosaurus did throughout the whole last movie?
what did it do?
It slept. It ate like a deer. And then it like came out of nowhere and got beat by another dinosaur and it walked away. That was it.
Wow, that sounds really.
That was basically it. I walked out of the movie. I was like, I thought it was a Joker. I thought it was gonna like burn the ground down. I thought it was gonna start like laughing and stuff. Like what?
That's basically what they did with the
completely lied.
main monster, the hybrid
Yeah.
thing. In this,
All right. Well,
movie.
I think we just gotta get into spoilers. Let's get into spoilers. Let's get into spoilers. Go ahead, Amos. Talk about the D-Rex. Talk about the mutations.
All right, I'm gonna start with what I liked about the movie since
Okay.
it was so much less than what I.
Yeah, all right.
Take 2
The
seconds.
only things I like were the Mosasaurus scene in the beginning that really triggered your like thalassophobia.
Oh my
Being scared
god.
of the ocean. Like they're in this tiny boat and this big fuck thing swimming around. Oh, dude, if I was honestly, I thought I was immediately scared in the ocean. I was like, all right, I'm not getting in a boat ever again.
Literally.
Mosasaurus is gonna
I have
beat
I
my
have
ass.
such bad thalassophobia and a fear of sharks and a fear of the open ocean like that. And I legitimately was like, I might have to look away. Like this is really triggering my like.
You literally told me that during.
I was like, dude, I'm
"Ah."
terrified right now.
I was a little stressed in that
So
moment.
you guys are
And that
getting
was
on a
the-
boat and going across the sea to
Okay, wait, real
Really?
quick before you get too
Equator?
far into this, Amos. Okay, if the world is overrun by dinosaurs, and you know that there are dinosaurs in the oceans that could swallow your boat whole, why are you taking your family across the ocean?
That's an extremely
fun little
valid
trip,
point.
fun little family adventure.
Yeah, fun
That
family
is a
adventure.
family adventure I don't want to go on.
Yeah,
I'd
be so pissed. I'd be so pissed at my dad if he brought me
You
in
and
a
your
boat.
elementary school daughter, like a high
Yeah.
like 2 high school.
And none of them were excited. None of them were like, "Yay, we're on a boat!" Like all of them were like, "Get me off this
I-
boat!" No,
Can I just say I hated the dad. So stupid, no survival skills. Like you're doing a lot to do nothing at all. You were
Yeah.
barely saving your children.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
daughter and the boyfriend carried the weight.
yeah. He did. He did when he let his kid go.
leg though.
That fucking boyfriend didn't do shit.
Nah, don't hate on him. Don't hate on him. He was funny. He was funny. No, what are you talking
I
about?
would have let his ass die.
He jumped. He jumped in the water. Yeah, I would.
He did. His
If any of you guys fell in that water, if any of you guys jump, if any of you guys fell in that water, you're dead. I'm not saving any of you. If
I
you're,
was gonna say you would not save me.
No, I'd
That
be like-
boyfriend likes his girlfriend more than you like yours.
yeah.
And like
I'd be like, if you fell in that water, yeah, if you fell in that water, see, I'm staying on the
Honestly,
boat. I'd rather crash with that
I'd
boat
let
than
you
jump in
drown
that
too.
water.
I'd let you drown too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Damn.
Oh man.
Jurassic World is tearing us all apart.
Yeah. Damn.
Jurassic World
Anyway,
made me rethink
okay.
my relationship.
Yeah. All right, continue, Amos, on what you loved, even though we all just hated on the movie.
The other thing I liked in Jurassic World Rebirth was the scientist archaeologist guy who was explaining the whole ecological implications of the human race as a whole. Like he was comparing us to like the fate of all other organisms, saying 99% of all species that ever were died, and humans are going to end up being just another statistic of that. Like
Yeah.
scientifically speaking, we, given our hyper intelligence, it's like totally overrated. We're gonna be our own demise.
Yeah.
Totally.
I really like.
loved
Yeah,
that.
that was a really good scene.
That have
And it's-
survived way longer than we have.
It's super important for nowadays too, with like AI causing so much like energy usage and burning up so much water. I'm like, dude,
Yep.
like this guy's totally right. We are gonna kill ourselves before we even get to like a fraction of what the dinosaurs were there for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene, he surprised me with that little knowledge that they dropped
Yeah.
in the movie. I was expecting most of this to be brain dead dinosaur shit, but
But
I
Jurassic
kinda wish-
World,
Nah, the scientists knew a thing or two.
yeah, Jurassic
did
Park
know
has
things.
always had that theme, and it's mostly evident in the first one. And I feel like they try to always interject that one. It's just never as good as what the first one did because they have to
Yeah.
tell you. I wish they showed you that rather than telling you that.
yeah, I
But-
wish they kept that as like the central focus
Yes.
of the movie
Exactly.
instead of just like, this is a little fact.
yeah,
Let me throw this little fact.
Interesting tidbit.
yeah. But yeah, I guess what I liked in Jurassic World Rebirth was just like it was so high intensity, it was fun. Jurassic World Rebirth and F1, back to back were just the best summer blockbusters for me because like for a summer blockbuster, I'm going to the theater just to like turn my brain off, have some fun. Like I know the plot's probably not going to be that great. And see some Scarlett Johansson on the screen, see some Brad Pitt on the screen, see some T-Rex on the screen. So I like that. And then I also really like the fact that Jurassic World Rebirth played a little bit into the horror, and I wish they just went full horror. I wish they went full horror. They had some scenes from like the book, like the raft scene in the book is like a really famous horror scene in
There's
the
a
book.
That this
Yeah, you didn't know Jurassic Park is based on a book.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I should assume that most of these come from books.
Oh, yeah.
Movies.
The book is like very horror, like
Oh.
like horror vibe. And so I was like happy they kind of played into that a little bit, you know, that like, dude, this is terrifying. Like these, like he says, like we're in the jungle. The thing I hate the most is I know I'm being stalked. And I like that. Like, you know, that there's probably 10 dinosaurs watching you, ready to kill you at any moment.
Totally.
So I like that. And I thought that I personally thought that the dino action was pretty cool. But yeah.
I thought the dino action was pretty mid.
Yeah.
I think it could have been better.
Yeah.
They could have done some scenes well. Like, for example, another scene that I totally despised in Jurassic World Rebirth was how they completely neutered the T-Rex. Like,
Yeah.
they reduced him to like the equivalent of a fat kid trotting around in a pool trying to get his popsicle.
Yeah.
Disabled fucking family. Like, that shit was so painful to watch. I hated that. And
Yeah.
even the stupidity. It was just pissed me off.
Yeah.
The plot armor of that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
The plot armor of that girl underneath the raft somehow. When the T-Rex can't bite through the.
Yeah. Dude, we literally show the T-Rex biting throughout all these movies, biting through like metal, but it can't pop a inflatable floaty.
Stupid.
And why
I kind of liked in the beginning how the T-Rex like
pressed his teeth into the raft
Yeah.
and was like, well, it's not gonna pop.
I kind of wish that scene was more like they used the raft to like distract it because it's this big yellow floating thing. Like I wish she like threw it somewhere and it like floated in the wind and then she's like go. But yeah, she's like hiding and then she's screaming under there. Like, bitch, calm yourself down.
up.
Shut the hell up. Like, relax. You're fine. The T-Rex is half asleep right now. I kind of like that. I like the fact that T-Rex like got up and he like looks over and he goes and gets like a drink of water.
How did he not wake up from that?
Who? The
The
T-Rex?
T-Rex.
His stupid writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like
Also, why would you set off a fucking explosive inflatable tube next to the biggest sleeping dinosaur as if
Yeah.
you're gonna escape on that thing?
Yeah.
But then they're, paddling over to the, which is to the other side, which is, technically quieter than her trying to drag that raft out. And he wakes up
able
then.
to stand like in the water. Like, why did they even need to open?
That's what I was-
the raft at that point. Like,
I
they
was gonna
literally
say.
could've just walked.
It was because the guy's leg was
Well, no, but I'm saying that they
Still.
could have even just like laid in the river and let it float them down instead of
Right.
like, they didn't even use the raft. They didn't even use it. They
all that.
didn't even need it.
They could have tweaked the whole scene to make it more intense. Instead of the T-Rex just trudging through like still water, they could have had it start like they managed to get the raft right into the rapids, and the T-Rex is chasing them at full speed on the rocks on these rapids. That would have been so much more
Yeah.
intense. Instead of it,
I was thinking that, and it's the same thing again. Where the dino, like if the T-Rex literally takes like a normal step, it's already on top of them and it can eat them. But it was like purposely going super slow, and it's like points where like that where I'm like, come on. But I don't know. Yeah.
You guys
Shit.
are
All right,
making me regret my
maybe my
would you give it like an 8.5?
I still think it was a lot of fun. Like in the moment,
No, this is every minute that we talk shit about this,
Yeah.
it brings my rating down 0.5.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna join me in the depths of the shit of that I think of this movie.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm going that low,
Not even
but
halfway done.
I don't think I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
No, I'll probably maybe a 6.5, just because it was
Damn!
silly.
Oh,
Silly.
that went down far.
Guys, I know, and it could go lower if we keep continuing.
But I don't know. Okay, wait, real quick. In Jurassic World Rebirth, the ending was so stupid. They get on this raft with like a jet engine, right? And they go out into the sunset. Dude, the Mosasaurus and the Spinosaurus are out there. You are not in the clear. Where are you
You're not
going?
making it.
You're not making it anywhere. Like,
Also,
you're
that
dead.
guy didn't need to survive.
Yeah.
He really didn't.
There was way too much plot armor going around.
Way too much
That
plot
guy
armor.
was completely safe. The only guy that really got hurt was the guy that said he wanted to shoot the dinosaurs on the boat.
Yep.
And the guy at the end who was like the main villain.
Oh wait, and the innocent guy who was fixing the engines when it crashed. And he has no idea what's happening.
Guy who spoke French.
Fix the He's like,
About that guy.
pull me up.
The girl that was on top of the
Oh
was
yeah,
on
yeah.
top of the boat,
Basically,
literally no substance whatsoever
Yeah,
to
basically,
her. So it was fine.
all your
Didn't even get her name.
Yeah.
I know.
All your nameless soldiers just get eaten. You know that.
Yeah.
Like every time, like when that French guy, when he went out on the rock cliffs, me and Bailey looked at each other. We're like, he's dead.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
10 minutes later,
He's
he was
next.
dead.
He's
Yeah.
next.
But I did like I thought some of the deaths were pretty fun. Like I liked it when they're like pulling up the rope and they're like, oh, he's almost there. And it's the dinosaur comes up and it's already in his mouth and it's like,
Yeah.
Dude, that was
okay,
crazy.
yep, he's dead.
Yeah.
But they also could have made that scene even better. Because
Yeah.
you know when the rope was in its mouth?
Yeah.
What if the pterodon started flying away
Flying.
and they're hanging up? I thought that was gonna happen. I was like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. And then they just edited the rope out of its mouth. Like, what the fuck are we
Yeah.
talking about here?
Yeah.
I just feel like in general
disappointing.
they got all those samples like way too easily.
They
Yeah.
did. They did.
I think the only one that like they got that was a little bit hard was the Mosasaurus, which was probably like I think the best scene in Jurassic World Rebirth was the Mosasaurus Spinosaurus
Yeah.
scenes. Like
Mhm.
that
was
was
cool. I liked
so
it.
intense. I don't think I've really felt that like clenching my butt in a while. Probably since I saw like The Shallows, like the last shark movie. Just like open water and like sharks and stuff. Just so just
They wasted all their creative potential on that one
Yeah.
scene.
But I will say now, on the flip side of that, the Spinosauruses were absolutely wasted. They marketed the
wasted them too.
Spinosaurus so much.
Oh yeah.
People were so excited to see them come back from Jurassic World 3 or Jurassic Park 3. And they just never really, they fought them on the ship and then they never did nothing anymore.
Yep.
I
They
kind
stayed in the water.
They
Yeah,
should have
I
gotten a
was
sample
kind
from
of-
that beast at the end.
Because the guy at the end was like,
Monstrosity.
they're amphibious, they can get on land. And then they just didn't come on land. They just didn't come on land.
Yeah, but then that also like confuses me. Like when they were getting the raft, I'm like, wait, don't you not want to get in water?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Is
I'm
like,
just like what, you know, it's just.
I would not. I'd be like, if I was that little girl, I'd be like, I'm not getting on that raft, like no matter what.
Yeah, fuck that.
But you know what
Silly,
she does?
goofy.
Take the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Take the little.
And you know why that? You know why? What was its name?
was cute,
You know
though.
why Dolores was in Jurassic World Rebirth? For
Oh.
toy sales. For toy
Yeah.
sales. That's
Yeah.
literally the
So-
only reason they put it in there was toy sales.
I'll be honest, they got me. Now I suddenly want one.
Yeah,
What a
I will admit-
stupid ass name for a dinosaur.
No,
Dolores.
seriously, Dolores.
Dolores. Isn't that
too many
from
syllables?
Dolores? Too many
That's what you-
syllables.
That's what you name like your old Jewish grandma or something. Dolores.
Why are you naming your grandma? I don't know of anyone who names their grandmother.
Lame.
Yeah, Amy's going to his grandma like, I'm naming you Dolores.
If I see like an old white grandma who's like 60 plus, I'm just gonna default to Dolores.
Dolores.
Yeah, totally.
Like you don't have to tell me your name. I already know it. It's Dolores.
I mean, I still just really hated how that guy Atwater on the boat was like talking about shooting the dinos, and then like 2 seconds later, that guy was out of there. I thought
Yeah.
they just
they
wasted
killed them so fast.
so many characters.
Nah, I actually kind of like that because internally you think he's gonna be there the whole time. You think he's gonna be the villainy guy, and then he gets wiped out so quickly. And his death was honestly super brutal. Like the Spinosaurus jumps up, grabs him around the waist. He's holding on. Imagine the pain of having jaws of destruction around your waist, pulling you off the boat. Now his body would have ripped in half so easily, and he's holding there, and he's just like, ah. Oh yeah, that was pretty
Damn,
cool.
he really showed up some serious grip strength though, hanging on to that boat.
His grip strength is stronger than a Spinosaurus in the water.
You know that guy must rock climb or something.
Yeah.
Shit.
Also,
It would've been cool, like if they were on land and you had like the scientist guy talking about how he wanted to take care of the animals and like treat them with respect,
And
he
they
was
have, like-
let's just poach them.
Yeah.
Like let's just bring.
That's what I
stuff
thought they
back.
were gonna do, which kind of like the fact that
Didn't.
it kind of changes your expectations.
Yeah.
I liked it too.
But also like I knew from the get go the scientist guy who wants to help humanity or the business guy who wants to help humanity in Jurassic World Rebirth is really the villain. Like that's every Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movie. I thought he was super shallow of a villain as a character, but like I liked it when he died.
Me too. Yeah.
I liked it. He looked like Drake Bell.
Yeah, he made me really happy when I didn't have to see him anymore. It was great.
Yeah. And let's talk.
I wish a lot more people died. Like the whole family should not have survived.
Who would you want to have to? Who would you want to have to die to the family of Jurassic World
Well,
Rebirth?
I wanted the little girl to get eaten by that fucking T-Rex.
Oh my
She was
god!
alive for way too long.
I feel like the dad was dead weight. He shouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
I know the dad was.
He was
deadly.
limping
I-
around the whole movie, not
Don't
really
even
doing
get me
much.
started about that.
Okay, wait. So
Dad
so
should've
the
died for
the
sure.
kid, right? They're all sleeping, right? And the dad dozes off. He talks with the boyfriend, right? And the boyfriend's like, "I'm gonna go pee." For some reason, he takes a 3-mile hike to go pee, but he could have just
Yeah.
peed right behind them, right? So he goes and takes a 3-mile hike to go pee, and then within seconds, like she's hanging out with Dolores. The father fell asleep within 2 seconds.
I
like
know.
what?
Yeah.
Nah,
What
even
survival
before that,
instincts are those?
Survival
dad is
instincts are
telling-
terrible.
The
Also-
dad is telling the son or the boyfriend, like, dude, I can't thank you enough for saving my daughter. And he's like, yeah, whatever, bum.
The disrespect is insane.
Nah, that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
That was great.
Also, like this trope needs to stop when like the guy is facing one direction and then crazy shit is happening behind him and he doesn't turn around and he just like freezes. That trope needs to stop. I
Yes.
hate seeing it so much.
What's he supposed
yeah.
to do
Because-
midstream when there's a dinosaur thing going on?
I mean, like run or
Well, here's the thing that
something.
Here's the reason why I think Jurassic World Rebirth did that a little better was because he knew stuff was happening behind him and he didn't want to look because he was too scared. But a lot of the times the trope is like they'll have headphones on and they just don't hear anything like
Oh,
like in all the Spider-Man
totally.
movies.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that like he knew he was like he was so
Danger.
terrified that he didn't want to look backwards. But what I really hated was like, dude, there's so many times, mostly with like the mutation at the end of D-Rex, where it's like stepping and it's like, dude, this thing is like a kaiju. This is Godzilla. This is Godzilla stepping behind you. Why are its steps lighter than a feather? It should be rumbling the entire ground, and like no one hears these
Fucking
things.
Feel that shit.
Yeah, and with the same thing with those Velociraptor things that were like behind the boyfriend, where it's like, how do you not hear a gigantic dino behind you?
Yeah.
And like they had more than enough time to like actually kill him.
Kill him.
They were
multiple
just staring
times.
at him
Absolutely.
for fun.
Multiple
Waiting for him
times
to
the
die.
dinosaurs would just stare at them and not kill them. But I'm really happy in Jurassic World Rebirth we didn't get another Chris Pratt scene like this, and he's somehow training the dinosaurs. Like I
Thank
actually
God. See that.
like Jurassic World, but like we don't need more of that. Like
Nah, that's what Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson should have been doing the whole movie.
Yeah.
She
Amos, you had an
could've ran out
interesting
and just like made everybody bend to her will.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean she
Oh,
could have. She definitely
Yeah.
could have. I would have bent to her will.
Hey, me too.
Scarlett
Yeah.
Joe, hand me some of that badonkadonk.
Seriously? Whoa, can we
Yeah.
talk about her ass ate the entire
They
time?
knew what they were doing.
Hey,
She definitely told them, like, give me the tightest clothes. They're like, wait,
Hell yeah.
Scarlett, that doesn't make any sense. You're a military girl. You don't want to be like exposing skin and stuff like that. And she's like, no.
Give me the
Give me
sluttiest-
the sluttiest military outfit you could think of without making it rated R. And they're like, bet.
Jurassic
an
World
A.
Rebirth, 3 out of 10. Scarlett Johansson,
Scarlett Johansson.
10 out of 10. I'll
Easy
give it that.
Yeah.
That's
No.
I
a-
would agree.
Yeah.
I totally
Really carried the
agree.
movie.
Yeah. I did think she was actually pretty good in it. Like I think her acting, like
Yeah, she did
I
a good job.
love Gal Gadot, but Gal Gadot is such a bad actress.
Oh, jeez.
But
Oh,
jeez. But I actually think Scarlett Johansson, like, she's a good actress.
She did really good.
In the second one.
For the script that was handed to her, she did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Scarlett Johansson's performance in Jurassic World Rebirth was like, in general, a 7 out of 10. The movie itself was poop out of a toilet. I was not happy with that at all.
But I've been hanging on a lot of movie posters, mostly the Wicked movie posters. But I'm here to tell you, it's not just Wicked that has bad movie posters. The Jurassic World Rebirth poster might honestly be worse than the Wicked poster. I'm about to show you it.
Seen it.
I'm going to show you it. I went on Letterboxd, and this is the one that they're showing, and
Wait,
it's
the one-
literally.
Scarlett
I have to
Johansson
say-
with the gun.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes.
actually so bad.
Yeah. That,
Oh my god, it's worse than the Wicked one.
It's so bad.
No
It's
sense.
so bad. All they needed was the dinosaur and the family and then Jurassic World at the top. Why is she there?
She is bigger than the damn dinosaur.
She's bigger than the dinosaur.
And the logo.
She's bigger than the logo. Like
Well, they know that that's the reason you're going to see it.
That's what
You know
I
what?
was
think
thinking.
that's what because someone told me, I don't know where I heard this from, but someone told me that Scarlett was going to be like half dinosaur in this movie.
yeah, wait, I don't know where you heard that.
I feel like it came from that movie poster because why the fuck is she the size of the T-Rex?
Well, see, that's like
Yeah,
the floating
she's-
head thing, but like the problem is like I personally don't think the Jurassic Park franchise relies on its star power like they think it does. Like, I'm gonna go see, and Jurassic Park movies will always make a ton of money regardless of who's in them. So why are you putting Scarlett Johansson bigger than literally anything
Yeah.
on the poster? And it's so bad. Oh my god. I like, dude,
I
don't even get me started on it.
I don't remember.
I guess
We are in the downfall of movie posters. There are some good ones, but we are in the downfall of movie posters right now where they are just slop thrown out there to get your famous actors and actresses on there, and they don't care about the artistic view of it anymore.
I agree. I totally agree with that. It's no longer about the franchise or the movie. It's we got this actor or actress
Yes.
to play in our movie.
Yeah.
This is why you should see it. We got
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson here with her
Before you
tight
even
clothes and swinging ass to kill or like,
yeah.
this is why you should see this shit.
Yeah.
before
You
you
know
even get a
what?
chance to read the logo's name, like you just see her face with that
Yeah.
little dart gun, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I got to see it.
I know a lot of the other ones show off the mutation, the D-Rex. Let's talk about the mutations because they
Yes.
marketed the hell out of this movie with the D-Rex, which is the giant mutation at the end of the movie. Toys were coming out with it for months before this thing. I've known what this thing has looked like for like months, half a year before this movie came out. And whether or not you like that inclusion or not, that is such a disservice to the movie to completely spoil its design and everything about it months and months in the marketing before it comes out. Jurassic World Rebirth really screwed up with its marketing.
They really did. Also, can we talk about how the D-Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth is literally just the Muto from Godzilla?
It's the Muto combined
Not even an
with a
original
beluga whale
design.
combined with a xenomorph.
Yeah, that's kind of
Literally.
because I thought it looked like a whale too.
Yeah.
I was like,
And it probably is. Like, that's probably why it looks that way. But then my thought was, why can't it swim?
And why didn't they give any like description onto like what it's mutated with at all? They
Yeah.
just showed us this abomination. They
However,
gave us no
They
reason.
just showed it breaking out, and then 17 years later, it's still a problem.
However,
Yeah.
the way that I think about it is in Jurassic World Dominion, they set up the Indoraptor, which is like an Indominus Rex mixed with more raptor genes. I don't know. And they build it up throughout the entire thing. Oh no, that was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I don't know. The Jurassic Park movies tend to really set up a evil dinosaur in the first part of the movie, and they try to make it like hunting them the entire time. I kind of like the fact that they set up like this island has some mutations on it, and it's just kind of there. Like there's no like it's not like they're hunting down the D-Rex. It's kind of like, hey, we need to escape, and it's in our way, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And instead of it being like this evil thing that's hunting them, it only attacked them because they're in its territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
Also, if the whole movie was because like they were on this island that they had all these experiments on, shouldn't all the dinosaurs be like mutated freaks at that point instead
Yeah.
of just the D-Rex?
Yeah. Did you guys like the D-Rex in Jurassic World Rebirth?
No.
I thought it looked cool, but I didn't think they really used it right.
Yeah.
Like we
I
only
agree.
see it at the beginning and at the literal end. It would have been cool to see it lurking on the island before it becomes an issue for them.
Yeah, it should have been a known like threat around.
The way that
Should've
they
been aware
marketed
of it, at
it,
least.
I
Like, it's
think it would have been cooler if they just didn't tell anyone about it. And it was kind of like they built up this as like some social experiment, and it's like, or not social experiment, some experiments were done here that were failures, and then we kind of just see it, and it's kind of like a tease at the end, like, oh shit, like this is what they were doing. Let's get out of here before we have to deal with it. Instead of it being like the setup throughout the entire thing, and the marketing pitched this movie as D-Rex versus them the entire time, and you get like 20 minutes of D-Rex.
Yeah, that's silly. That's stupid. It's not good, bad. I don't like.
Yeah,
What
but
was your
I think
favorite
it.
scene from Jurassic World Rebirth though.
One more time.
What was your favorite scene from Jurassic World Rebirth? Because
I'd
I
say-
think for me, it was when the D-Rex takes out that helicopter.
oh my
That
gosh.
was pretty
That was
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
That was
I
pretty
was-
dope.
And I was thinking that all along. I'm like, okay, you could send a helicopter, but I feel like
You're not gonna get out,
dinosaur's
yeah.
just gonna step on it and
Yeah.
do whatever it wants. But hey, whatever.
I'd say like my favorite scene is definitely still the Mosasaurus scene, both with the sailboat and the big boy boat. Probably the sailboat more because that was just so insanely tense. But I also really did like that, dude. Amos, I know you were feeling this. Maybe you too, Spencer. I just know Amos is a big Godzilla fan. But when he ate that helicopter and he stepped out of the smoke, I was like, dude, this is literally Godzilla. This is a Muto.
Godzilla. That's literally Muto. They just took the Muto, copy pasted it, put it in, posted in Jurassic World Rebirth, and then we're like, hey, D-Rex.
Yeah.
This isn't a Muto. This is a D-Rex.
Yeah.
Fuck you talking about. My favorite scene was also the Mosasaurus. I have to agree with you on that one. That was the only scene that I genuinely enjoyed in the movie.
So I think my favorite part was when the bad businessman got eaten. Sorry.
Yeah.
Martin.
And you knew
the moment when the evil bird
and you knew that was gonna happen. Like everyone knew he was never gonna make it out alive.
But
He was not
like,
gonna.
how was it gonna happen?
Yeah.
Because he was like F1ing his way.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get to that. And
I like I was like pedestrian in the way, and it's just a dinosaur, the Ankylosaurus. And he's like, yeah. No, I liked it. I thought it was fun because like that dinosaur D-Rex mutation was literally just an evil thing because it grabbed him and held him up to his mouth just to like see the teeth. Like it's just like, yeah, you like this? You like what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and like when he was still holding on to the briefcase and his arms just chopped the hell off. Like, I don't know, I loved it. I loved every second of that.
Did you guys notice some of the scenes in Jurassic World Rebirth kind of felt like reskinned of other scenes from Jurassic Park movies? You have the flying velociraptor, weird amphibians creatures hunting them in the store as they peek around corners and stuff. And in the original Jurassic Park, they have the velociraptors in the cafeteria scene, which one of the greatest scenes of all time. So tense. But I kind of feel like everything they did, and then also the T-Rex obviously trying to bite down on the raft that he couldn't pop for some reason, just like in the first one with it going down on top of the car. But I feel like they just did it, but worse.
Yeah, I felt similar to that. I mean, it's the same thing we were talking about earlier, how they just play into what they think their fans are gonna like suck off, which is like T-Rex, Scarlett Johansson, and then Jurassic Park. So they pretty much just recycled everything that they could, squeegeed it all together in this sloppy ass movie.
Yeah.
And then there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't too much that you hadn't seen before or couldn't expect to see coming.
Yeah.
But do you guys think that... Wait, you can go.
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, although like I didn't expect it, like I still had fun with it because I just knew to turn my brain off. I knew that it was going to be nonsense, and I just wanted to see some fun CGI dinosaurs, Scarlett Johansson running around,
shaking her booty,
shaking her everything. And I was waiting for her to like grow some fangs because Amos told me she was half dino, but that never happened.
I don't know why. Why did they tell me that? I was expecting her to like turn green and get scales or some shit.
That would have been a nice twist, though.
Honestly, I would have liked the movie more if she was
at the end. She's like, "You guys think you got away?" And she like transforms into a velociraptor. You guys can't make it anywhere. And then she rips the little girl's head off. Spine, like alpha 28-year zombie infected, rips the spine out of the little girl and starts eating it.
Oh, I would have loved that.
That would have definitely taken the movie up some points. That little girl,
that would have been funny. It's like
little girl
the end of that
movie. They're going out on the boat, and then happy music to sunset. The dolphins are in the water, and the credits start rolling, and they're like, I don't even know what her name is. They just break the fourth wall. They're like, Scarlett. She's like, yeah. They're like, you don't look so good. Oh yeah, you think you got out safe? She
doesn't say anything at all.
Yeah, like a close up of her, like
She just does like a velociraptor.
Goes ballistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it could have opened up for a new movie.
Yeah, a new movie where Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, Jurassic World, Scarlet Rot. Millennia Scarlet Rot.
You guys think they need a rated R Jurassic World or Jurassic Park?
Yes.
That's what he was saying. That's what Tyler was saying. He's like, I want more horror.
Yeah, I want rated R, more horror. Like
more
I want to like,
more gore.
I want it to be pitch black. They're looking around and all they see is these like glowing like yellow eyes in the corner, and it like darts away. And like all of a sudden you hear like the actual T-Rex like chirp because it doesn't really roar like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden like and then ripping heads off and smashing and death and carnage and blood and guts and little girls are getting ripped in half. Like,
yeah,
maybe there's a problem with us for wanting that.
No, I think that's what
they were way too safe in that movie.
What
we needed more.
We're too soft.
Yeah.
If all of us were out camping and there was a dino around, you guys are all dying before me.
Oh, okay, Spencer.
Okay.
Spencer, you're falling asleep.
First guy going.
Nah, I'm gone. You won't even hear me.
Yeah, no,
What's
okay.
the
Here's what's
balance?
really gonna
Like,
happen.
I just feel like I would just let myself, like, you know what? If there's any way to go out, I'll get eaten by a dinosaur.
Here's what's gonna happen. We're all gonna be sitting there. We're all gonna say, "All right, I'm gonna take watch first." We're all gonna sleep. Spencer's gonna be in such a deep sleep as per normal.
Okay.
He's not waking up throughout any
He's
of
gonna
this.
be snoring.
He's not waking up. Like a dinosaur could be like breathing down his face and he won't wake up. Amos is gonna be like, I'm gonna go take a pee, but he's gonna go 5 miles away because he keeps hunting something on the floor because he wants to see what it looks like, and he's gonna get jumped on from behind and flayed into like Terrifier and eaten by probably some weak dinosaur.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till you guys go to sleep, and I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
It's giving like the Hunger Games.
Me?
You.
I'm just dying from pure excitement and that I know I'm gonna be the winner.
No way.
So I'm just dying. And then you're dying because you just followed like you followed a
I don't stand a chance.
yeah, you followed a cute dinosaur because you wanted it and it led you right to its mother who ate you in half.
The Lord.
To sum it up, I think Jurassic World Rebirth was stupid, but for me, a lot of fun because I knew to turn my brain off and not go in expecting like the greatest movie of all time or the most deep movie of all time. They have a formula. The Jurassic Park franchise has a formula. They know it makes money and they just stick to it. And I thought it gave me enough fun that I was happy, but really stupid plot points.
Oh, I hate that. I hate it. See, that's really different because I don't have the capacity to turn my brain off when I watch a movie. Like the movie has to be well done, or I'm not going to enjoy it.
Totally. I agree with that.
Yeah,
But you gave it an 8.5.
I saw this shit in the
Shut my
theater.
brain
Thank
off. I
God-
didn't have to think.
Oh, okay. What were
I
you
saw
saying?
this shit in theaters. Thank God I have A-list and I didn't have to actually spend money on this fuck movie. Somebody had the audacity to clap at the end of this movie.
At the end of the movie, the entire theater was
I
clapping.
got so mad. I was like, there's no way you're clapping for this poop of a movie. I ran out of there. I was so upset.
No, I did have some issues with like the plot points a little bit, but just taking it for what it was, I thought it was a fun dino movie. Fun movie for the family.
Yeah.
Not too scary if you're gonna bring your kids or something.
Yeah, I think it was good.
So, what are your guys' top 3 Jurassic Park movies?
For me, number 3 probably would have to be. I'm gonna put Jurassic Park 3 at number 3. I don't know. It's like kind of a bad movie, but I think it's like I think it's underrated. Kind of like Spider-Man 3. I think if you go back and watch it, it's a lot of fun. The Spinosaurus is terrifying in that movie. The practical effects were pretty good. I don't know. I like it. I have nostalgia for it. Coming in at number 2, I'm going to put Jurassic World. I just thought it was like a really cool return to form, and I like the Indominus Rex. I don't like everything with Chris Pratt and training the dinosaurs, but like I think it's a fun one and had some really fun dinosaur action. And then number 1 is one of the most goated movies of all time, Jurassic Park, the OG one. Like possibly one of the greatest movies ever created and will ever be created.
I have the exact same top 3 as you, mostly because I've only seen 4 out of the 7 movies that I have out.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my list.
Spencer?
Yeah, I think you were pretty much right with that. I got Jurassic World. I got Jurassic Park at number 1, like clear as day.
Yeah. Did you guys see the trailer for the Odyssey movie from Christopher Nolan?
I
Before
did.
that trailer, just to put it out there, has not been released online. It is brand new. It is only being shown in theaters before Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It
I
did look
did.
cool.
What did you think of the trailer for Christopher Nolan's Odyssey shown before Jurassic World Rebirth?
That
I think it
shit
looks pretty
caught
good.
me by surprise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a sucker for Greek mythology, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna be looking up into that. I'm gonna be staying tuned. I'm
Dude.
hyped.
Yeah, absolute star-studded cast.
John
boy.
Bernthal, Tom Holland. Dude, John Bernthal. I've been kind of like staying on the radar with that because I just want to be surprised. And I was like, John Bernthal and also Spider-Man. Spencer, real quick. I don't know if you heard, but it is confirmed that Punisher, John Bernthal, and Spider-Man, Tom Holland are going to be in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool.
That's going to be hype. But yeah, so seeing those two, dude, it was great. I mean, it didn't really give away too much, but I love the moment at the end where John Bernthal's character is like, you can't imprison a person like that. And dude, it's just so great. I'm like hype. I'm super hype. It probably might be my most anticipated movie coming out.
I think
I just
When does that
love
come out?
John Bernthal's
Next
character. his
Next
characters
year?
that he
Okay.
mainly
That's it's coming out in a
his
year.
style of acting. I'm very fond of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a big Tom Holland girly, like very, very big Tom Holland girly. So I'm really excited to see him in like a role that's not Spider-Man. I mean, he's been in like Uncharted and
Cherry.
Oh my God, Cherry was
I think
good.
Cherry was the final differing
Yeah.
role for him that showed his actual acting chops, and I think this one
Well,
could.
and I think just like the other roles he was in, like it's not that he didn't portray it well, it was just the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Like he
I wasn't a huge fan of Oppenheimer. I liked it. I don't think it's his magnum opus, but this one is like everything I love. I love Greek mythology. I love fantasy. I want to read the Odyssey again. I remember the Odyssey being like the only book I actually liked reading in high school.
Yeah.
Like I am so hyped for this. So
I think this could really be something.
yeah. Did you hear that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is being re-released in September in theaters, with Spider-Man 2 being dubbed Spider-Man 2.1, with a 4K being shown on in theaters with extended scenes and additional deleted scenes being added in? How hype
we
are
gotta
you?
watch that.
Wait,
Oh,
you
yeah.
mean Sam Raimi is the original Spider-Man?
Like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
yeah, doing
Yeah.
They're being re-released in theaters. I'm going to theaters to see it immediately.
Absolutely.
We gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a half
Oh
to
yeah.
see.
Oh yeah. I can't wait.
All right. Well, you didn't ask, but we just talked about this Jurassic World Rebirth. Some of us liked it. I don't think most of us did, but
It's funny because we all said we liked it, but you, Amos. But then we probably spent the whole podcast
I
shitting
know,
on
but
it.
you guys
You're
opened
right,
my
'cause
eyes.
I
You
had
guys
to-
opened
I
my
had to
eyes, and I'm
explain
like,
why.
okay.
Well, because, like,
Yeah, my 7.5 might have been too generous.
You know what? Because it's like you know people do like too long didn't read. It's like the too long didn't read is dinosaur action was pretty fun. The writing was so abysmal that it was terribly terrible, shitter terrible.
so how about a recast, a revote? How would you rate Jurassic World Rebirth after this discussion?
6.5, maybe a 7.
I'd probably give it like a 7 because I still had a lot of fun with it, even though I know
Yeah.
it had really bad plot points.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kept me on the edge of my seat,
Yeah.
but you
I'll
know,
give it a solid 7.
Yeah.
The special effects didn't disappoint.
Amos, what about you? Did it go?
I'm still at a 3.
Did it go down? I was wondering if it went down. I was wondering if it went
I was thinking
down.
about going to 2, but like 2, you got to be an absolute pooper to be a 2.
Jurassic World Rebirth is better than Sinners.
Don't even. Don't
I'm
even
kidding.
make
I'm
that
kidding. I'm kidding. But all right, check back in. Big movie coming out next week. Superman, James Gunn's Superman. We
and
will,
Nicholas Hoult.
with Nicholas Hoult. So we will be on that
Yeah.
immediately. Let's hope that the summer blockbuster trend keeps going up. Well, for Amos, it went down, and now hopefully it goes back up.
I don't
gotta-
think it's possible to come back from this.
Oh my God.
You can't give me 28 years later and then plummet it down to Jurassic World Rebirth. I don't think Superman's really got to show itself now.
Oh,
Like,
Well,
I
let's
need
hope
to
it
be-
does.
yeah.
Can't handle 2 back-to-back summer poopers.
Yeah. Check back in.
All right.
And check our socials over at TikTok. We be posting all of our clips and some other reviews up there, like our Squid Games 3 review.
Yeah.
That was another stinker.
We'll
This is the You Didn't Ask podcast, Jurassic
Signing off.
World Rebirth. I was Amos.
I was Tyler.
I was Bailey.
I was Spencer. I don't know.
All right. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yep, see ya.
So long.